ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। लास्ट
हरे
क्लास
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Last class we have completed first 8 shloka of Ishopanishad. Today we are continuing to the shloka number 9. श्री राधा गोविंद की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। In this section, there are 9, the shloka number 9 to 14 are coming under this one lesson, lesson 5. We will see how much we can cover today. The absolute and the relative. This is the topic for today. These are the all 18 chapters or the shlokas of Ishopanishad, how they are divided under different headings. First one is invocation till up to mantra 3. It is living in harmony with the Ishvara. And second part 4 to 8 is the Ishvara can be understood by spiritual vision. So that is the 2 parts. Now today we are continuing to the mantra number 9. And 9 to 11, it is right and wrong vidya. And 12 to 14 is right and wrong upasana. That is knowledge and worship. So for understanding Ishvara. So this mantra 9, 10, 11 and 12, 13, 14. These 3 shlokas, they are almost similar. That is vidya and avidya, upasana and the right upasana and the wrong upasana. These things will be discussed under these headings. So let us start with the right and wrong vidya. The first section is shloka 1 to 3. Second section is 4 to 8. These things we have already completed. Proprietorship and laws of God, vision of the Mahabhagavata. Now today is the third section, 9 to 14, that is absolute and the relative. Under that, it can be divided into 2 parts in terms of knowledge and in terms of worship. And the final section is 15 to 18, that is prayer at the time of death. So let us start with the first part of this 9 to 11, that is in terms of knowledge. Now this 9, 10 and 11, these three shloka, if you see, what this 9th shloka say, avidya takes to darkness and vidya to greater darkness. And 10th shloka says, vidya gives one result and avidya gives another result. 11th shloka says, vidya and avidya together grant immortality. Now here, if you see the meaning of vidya and avidya, they are changing from one shloka to another. They are not same. Avidya takes to darkness. Okay, that we can understand. But why the vidya is taking to even greater darkness? That means here from the 9th shloka, we can understand vidya is more dangerous than the avidya. This is how the Upanishads will be speaking. So we should understand under the guidance of spiritual master in the proper parampara, then only we will be able to realize what is the meaning of that shloka. And in the 10th, it is telling vidya and avidya, they are giving two different results. The first one is giving almost same result. That is, avidya also giving darkness, vidya also is giving darkness. It is leading to darkness. But the 10th shloka says, vidya and avidya, they are not giving the same result. They are giving two different results. And in the 11th shloka, the concluding one, it says, you have to use both vidya and avidya for getting the immortality. So here again, it is used in the same category. Let us understand it with the chart. So what is the meaning of this vidya and avidya in these three shlokas? They are not the same. There is difference. In the 9th shloka, when we say avidya, it is ignorant pursuit of sense gratification. When a person is ignorant about the importance of human form of life, he will only engage himself in the sense gratification, just like animals. Animals, they day and night, they'll be searching for ahara nidra bhayamaithunamcha. They don't have anything else. The fifth one is not there. Only 4 things are there for them. That is the ignorant pursuit of sense gratification. It is called as avidya, which will take one to the darkness. Now, the vidya is taking us to greater darkness. Why? Because that knowledge which is used for the pursuit of sense gratification will take one to the greater darkness. A person who is ignorant, he cannot harm himself so much. But when a person is in knowledge and he is using all his knowledge for sense gratification, he can gratify the senses to a greater extent and he can degrade himself more. Just like a person who is trained in the military, he can be a good worth to the nation. But if he decides to harm the people, then he can create more harm than other people. Or an educated person, if he uses the knowledge or technology which he has learned for harming the people or for harming himself, he can harm more than the person who is in ignorance. So that is the meaning of 9th shloka. So in this way, we can say a person who is ignorant is better than a person who is in knowledge. This is when sense gratification is goal of life. And in the 10th shloka, if you observe, knowledge for pursuit of sense gratification is considered as avidya. So what was vidya in the 9th shloka is considered as avidya in the 10th one. The knowledge for pursuit of sense gratification is not actually vidya, it is avidya because you are still on the material platform. The 10th shloka is considering vidya as the knowledge which will take us to Krishna consciousness, that is spiritual. So according to 10th shloka, whatever material things are there, it is avidya, and whatever spiritual things are there, that is vidya. So in that sense, you can say vidya and avidya both give two different results. They are not giving the same result. If you are working for sense gratification, you will get one result. If you are working for self-purification, you will get another result. And the 11th shloka, it will say, knowledge for bodily maintenance is avidya, and knowledge for pursuit of Krishna consciousness is vidya. Here, the second one is same. Vidya is same, knowledge for pursuit of Krishna consciousness. But in the avidya, there is slight difference. Sense gratification is not recommended, but at the same time, one cannot neglect the maintenance of the body, which is required. The 11th shloka says avidya means the maintenance of the body. Bodily maintenance, one has to take care. We cannot say, I have come to Krishna consciousness, I know now I don't have to worry about my bodily maintenance, or I don't eat, or I don't keep myself fit. One cannot say like that. The body has to be maintained. As long as the soul is present within the body, it needs the food. It has to be provided. So that maintenance cannot be neglected. So that is the knowledge for bodily maintenance. So if you are taking both together, that means the materially you are taking your body, taking care of the body for serving Krishna as a means to serve Krishna, and at the same time you are cultivating vidya for advancing in Krishna consciousness, can take one to the immortality. That is the meaning of 11th shloka. So both vidya and avidya are required. In this way, we can understand the 3 shloka. Let us see this shloka one by one in detail. The 9th shloka says, Andham tama pravishyanti ye vidyamupasate tato bhuya ivate tamo yau vidyayamrata. Those who engage in the culture of nascent activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. So Prabhupada has discriminated the knowledge and the so-called knowledge separately. So this is speaking about the so-called knowledge which will take us away from Krishna. So why vidya is less than avidya in the paragraph? So there are totally 9 paragraphs in the text in this purport. You all can open the book. The first paragraph speaks about vidya and avidya. And here Prabhupada is explaining how vidya can be more harmful than avidya when it is used for sense gratification. So vidya is less than the avidya. That is the meaning of this shloka. And second part, avidyam upasate. How people are upasate, worshipping the avidya, 2, 3, and 4. That means people take the sense gratification as the motive of life. They will completely dedicate or surrender to the sense gratificatory activity, and that becomes the only goal of life. That is avidyam upasate. Upasana means worshipping. So anything that give me pleasure to the senses, it will be worshipable for me. There is nothing greater than that. That is avidya upasana. And then from 4 to 9 he is explaining vidyayam rataha. That means using the knowledge for sense gratification. Godless modern education, which has the goal of sense gratification, artha and kama. Hiranyakashipu asked the Shanda and Amarka to teach Prahlad only the kama and artha and kama. Don't teach him dharma and don't teach him moksha. Only teach artha and kama. Just teach him how to make money and how to engage sense gratification. Modern education also almost same. In education, there is no option for teaching the student what is dharma. It is all out. Nobody can enter the university. Bhagavad Gita, we cannot teach Bhagavatam. All these things are not allowed. And moksha concept is not there at all. They don't know what is moksha. There is life after death. All these things are imaginary for them. So that is the vidyayam rataha. Using the knowledge for degrading oneself. Godless modern education. Paragraph number 4. If you observe, you can see Prabhupada is explaining here. He says, decoration of a dead body. In the last line of 54th page. That is in Haribhakti Sudodaya 3:11-12. It is said, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Tapastata Apranasya Dehasya Mandalam Lokaranjanam. Decoration of a dead body. The shloka is not there here. The explanation is given. So what does it say? When a person dies, people will decorate the dead body just to make the person happy. At least he was not happy during his life. At least let him become happy after death. So as a ritual, they will decorate the dead body very nicely. And they will make the dead body to smile. But actually there is no smile because the life has already gone. Similarly, whatever decoration we can make for our modern education system, through the education system, whatever decoration we can make for our living. But if the God is not at the center, if it is a godless education, then it is like a dead body. Whatever you may do, it is like taking care of the cage, neglecting the parrot within. What will happen? The parrot will die after some time. And in the paragraph number 5-8, it is Prabhupada is explaining here, Vedavadarataha. Vedavadarata means these people, they are so-called Vedantist. What they do, they use the Vedas for their sense gratification, because Vedas, they don't neglect anybody. Veda will give opportunity to everyone. In the Vedas, there are injunctions how one can elevate oneself to the heavenly planets, how one can enjoy there. All these things are explained in the Veda. But that is not the goal of Veda. Veda has the goal to understand Krishna. Vedaishcha sarvair ahameva vedya. Bhagavad Gita 15:15. But we are only attracted to the byproducts of this Veda. That's why it is called Vedavadarataha. Bhagavad Gita also it says, Vedavadarata partha nanyadasti iti vadinaha. Traigunya vishaya Veda nistraigunya bhavarjuna. These Vedas can be used for sense gratification. That is knowledge used for sense gratification. One can degrade himself by performing karma kanda activities. One can become rich. One can gain name, fame. One can get money. Whatever it is needed, a person can get it. That is explained in the 5, 6, 7, 8. Bhagavad Gita 2.42 and 7.15. All these things are explained. 2.42 speaks about Vedavadarata, and in the next one, paragraph number 9, that is 7.15 sloka number. He is speaking here, Mayaya apahrita jnana. That means the knowledge which is stolen by the illusory energy, Maya. What does it mean? The people, when they get a lot of education, they say that there is no God. Because I have not seen God. My scientific research cannot prove God. So there is no God. That is Maya apahrita jnana. What is the result of your education? Education results in atheism. It will take to the greater darkness. So better it is to keep the people in ignorance than giving this kind of knowledge which will take one to the avidya, or one which will take to the darkest region. That is Maya apahrita jnana. So Prabhupada is explaining here in 3 parts. What is this vidyayam rataha? People who are looking for knowledge, but the goal is sense gratification. The one is modern education, godless modern education, where people are getting educated, but they are not understanding what is Krishna. Only making money and sense gratification is the goal of life. Second part, using the Vedas. The so-called spiritualists using the Vedas, the Karmakanda portion of the Vedas, trying to become happy by sense gratification, by different performance of yajna. And third one who has got the knowledge, after getting the knowledge, as a result of that material knowledge, which is godless, he will try to prove that there is no God. Why there is no God? Because I have learned now. My education system has not taught me God, so there is no God. People become atheists. This is the vidya. This kind of vidya is taking us to darkest region. It is more dangerous than the vidya itself. Those who like read can raise their hand. Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Modern civilization has advanced considerably in the field of mass education, but the result is that people are more unhappy than ever before because of the stress placed on material advancement to the exclusion of the most important part of life, the spiritual aspect. Sri Prabhupada Ji ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The modern education, it is creating the people as atheists. We are getting more and more atheists in the society. These people cannot advance in the spiritual life, and they cannot make their human form of life successful. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. The advancement of learning by a godless people is as dangerous as a valuable jewel on the hood of a cobra. A cobra is decorated with a valuable jewel is more dangerous than one not decorated. Mandra 9 Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, the education is compared to the jewel, but that jewel is present on the hood of a cobra. Now, if a cobra which doesn't have the jewel, it is not so dangerous because it cannot attract anyone, or nobody will go and try to touch that cobra. But when a cobra is decorated with this valuable jewel on its hood, there is a chance that people may get attracted to it, and they try to go and touch that. And when they touch it, the cobra will bite them and the person will die. So that is explained here. When the person is educated in the modern civilization, which is godless, then he can make more people to follow whatever philosophy he may be having, so that he can create more damage to the society. He can propagate the atheism, and he can destroy the life of many people. So that is why here it is compared to the jewel on the hood of a cobra. So this shloka is exactly fitting to the Kali Yuga. Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam to all. A godless civilization directed towards this so-called advancement of education is more dangerous than a civilization in which the masses of people are less educated. Mantra 9, purport. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. When we perform any Sankirtan program in the villages, if you observe, there will be so many people come and gather, because they don't have TV at home, they don't have any serials to watch, or they are more free. They just have to work in the field for some time in the agricultural land, and evening everyone is free. So when there is some discourse going on, spiritual activities, they come and participate in many hundreds of numbers. But if you do the same thing in the city, you have to do so much of publicity, and you have to call them so many times, and you have to make so many arrangements so that they may come at least give one visit. That's all. They'll not stay also. That is the situation. So here it is told, the so-called advancement of the education is more dangerous. So it is better people be less educated than being educated in the wrong manner. So education can also become dangerous. In the paragraph 4, let us study in detail once again, continues. To be in ignorance is bad. In the paragraph 4, if you can see, Prabhupada is explaining it in a more systematic way. To be in ignorance is bad, but to claim to be in knowledge is worse. That means a person who is in ignorance, at least he knows that he doesn't know. But if he doesn't know that he doesn't know, he is more dangerous. He is in even more difficult situation. That is like non-theistic scientist. There is there are people, they are very humble, those who are not educated much in the field of science or the modern education. They are very humbly say, I have not learned much. I don't know much things. So I'm an ignorant person. So he is okay. He's a better person. But there are people who boast themselves that I have done so many degree, I have so much of knowledge, and they don't agree that there is something which you don't know. They only say that whatever I know, that's it. But the present scientists, those are honest, they will agree that the science, whatever we know, is very, very small. There is many things to explore, or whatever way you can see. If you see in the micro level, there is so much to learn. And if you say in the space science also, as you go on exploring more and more, we are getting more and more doubts, more and more confusion. It is increasing day by day. So the knowledge, whatever we have, is very, very small. But if the scientists claim that whatever I know, that's it, that means he is ignorant about his ignorance. He is worse than the person who is honest to say that I'm in ignorance. And the third person is even more dangerous. That is, to condemn real knowledge as ignorance is worst. That is atheistic scientist. Second one is non-theistic. That means he is not interested in spirituality. But the third one is atheistic. That means he is opposing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. These people, they try to prove that whatever is told in the Vedas, whatever given in the scriptures, they are all bogus. They are useless. They have no basis. And whoever follows them, they are in ignorance. Those are following the Shastra. So these people are worse than other two. So these are three levels of godless civilization. First one is they are in ignorance. Second one is they try to prove that whatever knowledge they have, that is the ultimate. They don't agree that there is something more to understand. Third one is they are telling whatever the real knowledge is there, that to be ignorance. So this is tamoguna, taking knowledge to be ignorance and ignorance to be knowledge. That is in the third level of ignorance. So that is the godless modern civilization. In the paragraph number 4, you can see Srila Prabhupada has explained this. And if you go to the paragraph number 5 to 8, again, the Karma Kanda principles, the Bhagavad Gita says, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha Veda vadarata partha nanyadastiti vadinaha Kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. So what these people are doing, Yamimam pushpitam vacham, that 2.42 says, Pushpitam. What is pushpa? Means the flower, and phala means the fruit. Those people who are only attracted to the flower, they will not wait till the fruit to come. In the plant, in the tree, first the flower will come in the mango tree. You have to wait till the fruit to come. If you just grab the flower and put in your mouth, you will not get the sweet. You can only eat that flower. So these people, they are only taking the byproducts of Vedas. They study the Vedas just for increasing the sense gratification. The real fruit is there in the Vedas only when they come to the conclusion of Veda. That is Vedanta. That is the Upanishads. And Upanishads lead to the understanding of God. And the greatest Upanishad is Bhagavad Gita, Gita Upanishad, which is a Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gita Amritam Mahat. And the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita is Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhya Moksha Ishyami Mashuchaha Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskaru. So they will not come up to this point. So they will not taste the sweet. The Srimad Bhagavatam, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukad Amritadrava Samyutam, Vibhata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhui Bhavakaha. This taste they will not get. What they do, they will only take the flower, and once you take the flower, there is no more fruit, because you are only enjoying the flower. Yamimam Pushpitam Vacham. It's a flowery language. It's very attractive, because whenever the person is trying so much in his material life to achieve something, and when he comes to know that if you worship this God, if you go to this temple, if you do this puja, then you will get promotion, then you will get money, then all your court cases will be gone, your diseases will get cured. Okay, you can do this. So it is very pushpitam. It is very attractive. The person has tried whole life, he could not achieve anything, but now it is all coming. So let me do this. So they get entangled in that. That is Karma Kanda. Pravadanti avipaschitaha. They are not intelligent people. They are not intelligent. They are in ignorance, because they don't know the real purpose. Veda vadarata partha nanyadastiti vadinaha. Kamatmana swargapara. They are desiring to go to heaven, thinking that heaven is everything. But heaven is like you earn and you spend. Whatever you earn here, you spend in heaven, and again you have to come back. Prapte punye swargalokam vishalam, kshine punyam martyalokam vishanti. So that is like going up and down. But when we perform devotional service, the devotional service itself is awarding us the love of Godhead. There is no separate activity. The result and activity, they are in the same line. So serving Krishna will give us Krishna Prema, and Krishna Prema will give us more service. The purpose is served there itself. You don't have to do anything separate. But the going to heaven, it is two different activities. You perform activity here, it will take you to the heaven, and living in heaven, it will bring your punya down. And again, to get that punya, again you have to come here back. So these are two different activities. But in bhakti, it is both are in line. We don't have to worry about, okay, I am performing devotional service. Should I work for my Krishna Prema separately? No, it is there in there within that. The love of Godhead is a result of devotional service. Devotional service is a result of the Krishna Prema. That is love of Godhead. Sargapara. Janma karma falapradam. Janma and karma. The cycle of birth and death will not stop if we go to the heaven. Abrahma bhuvanal loka punaravartino arjuna. Mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanma na vidyate. Unless we go back to Godhead, we cannot stop the birth, death, old age, and disease. And that is the real problem of life that they are not addressing. That's why they are called as avipaschitaha. Wherever we may go, it is just like how much punya we can do so that we can accept birth and death. It is not possible. It is just like asking a person, how much money should I give you so that I can kill you now? You will accept the death. The pain of death, pain of birth is so much that it cannot be complemented with anything else. If I send you to the heaven, okay, you have to accept the death. And after coming back from the heaven, you have to accept the birth. So that real problem will remain as it is. Only some material happiness we get for some moment. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam Bhoga Ishwarya Gatim Prati. Why they are doing all these things? Because they are after Bhoga and Aishwarya. Mistake side issue in Vedas as ultimate purpose. That is, the byproducts are more important. And they will also misguide the people and misinterpret the Vedas. They say that the Vedas are having only this purpose. There is no other purpose. They will neglect or they will deny the real purpose of the Vedas. And in the last paragraph, Prabhupada explains about what is Mayaya Aparita Jnana. These are the people who are very educated, so-called educated people. The people, those four kinds of people who never come to Krishna. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama. 7.15 Bhagavad Gita. Mayaya aparata jnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. So here the fourth one is, the third one, Mayaya aparata jnana. Namam dushkritino mudha and naradhama. Mudha, naradhama, Mayaya aparata jnana and asura bhavam ashrita. These four people will never come to Krishna. Why? Because they are called as dushkritina. Their activities are not conducive for devotional service. And among them also, there are two categories. One is the Brahmavadi and Mayavadi. What is the difference? In most of the cases, we use these terms together or one for other. But there is some difference. Brahmavadi or impersonalist and Mayavadi is a offender. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discriminates them. Mayavadi is a Krishna Aparadi, but not the Brahmavadi. Brahmavadi is a impersonalist. They don't know the Bhagavan aspect of Krishna. They think that Brahman is everything. So for such people, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12.5, Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir duktam dehavadbhiravapyate. So these are the two paths Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says that is the devotional service is one path and another path is this impersonalist. So both are valid. Both are, Krishna has accepted both paths. But then he says, Klesho adhikatarastesham. This path is more difficult because dehavadbhiravapyate. One who is embodied, he cannot perform this so easily. That is Brahmavadi. One who doesn't have the understanding of Bhagavan. How to get the understanding of Bhagavan? By getting the association of devotee, by the association of bhakta. Only a devotee can teach us what is Bhagavan feature of the Lord. And what is Mayavada? Mayavada, it is told in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11 and 12. Avajananti mammudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavamajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shrita. So those people who think that Krishna to be an ordinary person, they are Mayavadis. Or those people who think that we all are God, they are Mayavadis. They imagine that Bhagavan to be a temporary manifestation of the Brahman himself. That is Mayavada. The Brahmavadis are not as dangerous as Mayavadis. And there is materialist and monist. Material activities are essence of life. Those materialists think that material activities are the essence of life, and monists think that God's activities are material. So these are the two aspects. Those people who are after sense gratification, they will only act for material sense gratification. And these people, monists, that is the Mayavadis, or those who say that me and God are same. They say that the God's activities are also material. They bring God to the material platform and they take themselves to the spiritual platform. Both are wrong. That is the Mayavada. So that is the shloka number 9. Next, coming to shloka number 10. Anyadevahur vidyaya anyadahura vidyaya iti shushrumadhiranam enastad vichachakshire. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience. So this is the second part, where we had the first one, 9th, is telling ignorance and knowledge. Here avidya is better than vidya. And in the 10th one, this shloka is telling vidya and avidya are giving two different results. So that is explained here. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience. So knowledge and nescience, the ignorance, they are giving two different results. So let us understand how is this. Here, Prabhupada explaining the text number 8 from the chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita to explain what is real knowledge, or one should culture knowledge in the following way. You can see in the page number 58. So there are totally 18 things are explained. The text number 13.8 to 13.12 up to 8 to 12, it is explained. In that shloka, there are actually 20 are there, but the last 4 are clubbed together to make 2. So it is only 18 things are listed here. In Bhagavad Gita also, we can see the instruction by contrast. This explanation, whatever is there, it is called as instruction by contrast. If you see the shloka number 3 in the shloka number 31 in chapter 3, what does it say? 31-32. Yeme matam idam nityam anutishtanti manava shraddhavanto anasavyanto muchyante tepi karmabhihi. So one who is performing this activity, he will get relief from the bondage. And एतेत्वाभ्यसूयन्ते नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतं सर्वज्ञान विभुडांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान चेतसः. If he doesn't take to this understanding, then they will destroy themselves. So these are these two shloka, 31 and 32, they give two different results. So Krishna is explaining here. If you have Bhagavad Gita, you can open the Bhagavad Gita, 31 and 32 of chapter number 3. Those persons who execute their duties according to my injunction and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. And in the other one, he's telling, but those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. And similarly, you have chapter number 4, 39 and 40. There also, Krishna gives two different results. So 39 says that Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatpara sanyatendriyaha jnanam labdhva param shantim achirena adhigacchati, which says that a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendent knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge, and having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. This is positive. And other side also he explains. Ajnana shraddhadanascha sanyamatma vinashyati nanyam lokosti na paro na sukham samshayatmanaha. But ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down for the doubting soul. For the doubting, they fall down. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this world nor in the next. So this is the negative way. This is the other way of explaining. Similarly, in 9.25, we have the contradiction. So those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship the ghost and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. So these are two contradictions, that is worshipping God and demigods or the ghost. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitruvrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopi mam. Similarly, in the 16th chapter, 23-24, या शास्त्र विधि मुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्. One who is following the scriptures, they will get happiness, and those who don't follow, they will be doomed. So 24 is positive here, 23 is negative. Tasmat shastram pramanante karya karya vyavastitau jnanam jnatva shastra vidhanottam karma kartum iharhasi. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so he may gradually be elevated. Finally, one more, 18.58. Here also Krishna gives two contradictory things. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. So this also, positive and negative, both things are given together. So similarly, this shloka also says that one result is obtained from the vidya and another result is obtained from avidya. If you observe here, Bhagavad Gita is more precise in explaining or telling the things than Upanishads. This is also proved here. See this Upanishad shloka, it will not say. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge and different is from the other one. It doesn't say what is that culture. That is not told here. But if you see Bhagavad Gita here, Krishna is very clearly explaining what you have to do, what you should not do. That is the difference between the Bhagavad Gita and other Upanishads. So anybody who understands Bhagavad Gita, there is no need to read any other Shastra. Even if you read, you will understand it better only after reading Bhagavad Gita. If you directly go and read any other Shastra, there is a lot of confusion which will happen, or the person may get misguided, or you will not understand anything. So that will be the result. So that is the beauty of Bhagavad Gita. Now in this mantra 10, there are mainly 3 parts. Paragraph number 1 to 2, that is Vidya leads to the desirable qualities. Here the paragraph number 10, first paragraph means I have taken the entire 18 headings, that is 18 numbers, whatever explained, that is all entirely taken as first paragraph. And the second paragraph, together it is explaining Vidya leads to the desirable qualities and Avidya leads to undesirable qualities. So these are the 2 different results, Vidya and Avidya. And then finally, Prabhupada says in from 6 to 9, only a Dhira can teach Vidya. A person who is a Dhira, he can understand or he can teach what is the real Vidya. That is from paragraph number 6 to 9. Now let us see them one by one. Vidyaya, that is culture of knowledge. One should become a perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. That is amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, shantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, shantir. The 13 sloka number 8 of chapter 13. There is a list of 20 qualities together. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atmavinigraha. Indriyarteshu vairagyam, anahankara evacha, janma mrityu jara vyadir, dukkha doshanudarshanam. Asaktir anabhishwanga, putra dara grahadishu, nityam cha samatitatvam, ishtanishtopapatishu. Mai chananya yogena bhaktiravya bicharini, vivikta desha savitvam, aratir jnana sansadi. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam, tattva jnana artadarshanam, eta jnanam iti proktam, ajnanam yad athonyatha. These are the qualities: humility, pridelessness, non-violence. You can read when you are free after this class. Tolerance, simplicity. These all are the qualities which is obtained by the culture of knowledge. That means when a person comes to the knowledge, he will understand what is his position. In the beginning, we will only explore our ignorance. We will understand how much we don't know. To know how much I don't know is the beginning of knowledge. It is just like a person can say, I can do this job within 1 hour. But actually, he has not properly analyzed it. Actually, that work will take 1 week to do. But he will say that within 1 hour, I can finish this work. That means he is ignorant about his ignorance. He doesn't know that he don't know the real effort that is needed for performing the activity. But when he starts doing that job, then he will realize and he will say, oh, sorry, it is not possible to finish within 1 hour. I need at least 1 week to finish this work. What he did, he only explored his ignorance. He understood that he don't know. To know that I don't know is the beginning of knowledge. It will make humble. Anybody who gets the knowledge, the real knowledge, it will make the person humble. So that is the first quality of Vidya. That is here given amanitvam, humility. The person will become very humble. Pridelessness, he will give up all his pride. What is there to feel proud about? What is my condition? I am the living entity who doesn't know from where I have come, and I don't know where I am going. I don't know why I am like this. I don't know anything about this. How I got this human form of life. Before coming here, what I was. I don't know anything about this. I have born in a family and somebody is taking care of me, and I'm living here. I got educated and I'm earning something, and I'm just leading my life. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, and I don't know what was happened yesterday. So what is there to feel proud about? So that is the knowledge which makes the person humble. The real knowledge. That is the one which we have to understand. That knowledge we have to cultivate. Those who would like to read can please raise their hand. Shri Priya Sampat Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare.
Vidyaya, the culture of knowledge. In modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly men. Due to the wrong type of education being imparted in our universities, boys all over the world are giving their elders headaches. Mantra 10 purpose. Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. This is the situation. Somebody gets knowledge means they will they'll try to become independent. Now nobody can control me. I am fully independent and this is my life. But that is not real knowledge. It is just like pride comes before fall. The knowledge becomes more dangerous than the ignorance. Now, conceptions of knowledge. Knowledge can be in different modes. The transcendental knowledge, if we understand by following the path of Prahlad, it is the devotion. What we will understand, what is the final conclusion of all the knowledge? One will understand that we should surrender to Krishna. Vedeshta sarve rahameva vedyaha. One who comes to this conclusion, his understanding is perfect. Just like the final conclusion one has to write. There will be some objective questions. You have to solve some analytical problem. Finally, you will get one answer, one number. And there will be 4 numbers. You have to choose one. The right one, only one is right. Other things are wrong. So if your calculation is perfect, then you will get that exact number. Similarly, our culture of knowledge, if it is perfect, if it is going in the transcendental way, then the person will understand that I have to surrender to God. If he comes to that conclusion, then his understanding is perfect. But if it is having any controlled by the modes of nature, then if it is sattvic, then people say that knowledge is virtue. That is told by Socrates. That means when a person gains the knowledge, he will become a gentleman in the society. He will not harm others. He will know how to live and he will help others. He will do humanitarian activities. That is coming to the Sattva Guna by cultivating the knowledge. That is less than transcendental knowledge, but still it is somewhat better than the other one. That is in the Rajoguna. The person will say that knowledge is power. Francis Bacon, he has told, knowledge is power. That means by knowledge, I can control others. If I have the power, why power is needed? To control others or to have control on everything. So knowledge, if we say knowledge is power, then it is Rajasic. Knowledge is virtue, that is Sattvic. But if one comes to the conclusion of surrendering to God through the knowledge, then that is the real transcendental knowledge. So these are the 2 different results of Vidya and avidya. Now coming to the mantra number 11, that is combining both vidya and avidya. Vidyam cha vidyayam cha yastad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrutyum tirtva vidyayam amrutam ashnute. So what does it say? Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Immortality means one need not take birth again. So that situation, if one has to gain, then we should take both together, vidya and avidya. It should be taken. So they go both hand in hand. So what is that? Knowledge for bodily maintenance. I may neglect sense gratification, but I cannot neglect the maintenance of the body. One should eat for keeping the body fit, or one should eat for keeping the soul with the body. One cannot neglect it. That's why the fasting is allowed only during the Ekadashi or during the festival, the appearance day of the Lord or Acharyas. We should not fast unnecessarily. Fasting unnecessarily is like giving trouble to the body. It is not allowed. Unless a person is sick or the doctor has recommended that you have to fast, then okay, that is maybe different issue. Otherwise, we cannot fast for some political issues, or we are angry at someone, I'll not eat today. So such things are not coming in the transcendental activity. The body has to be taken care. This body is it's a temple for the Lord. Anybody who has realized the presence of the Lord in the heart, or at least understood from Bhagavad Gita that Lord is living within this heart, then we cannot neglect the body. We should keep the body fit, we should keep it healthy, we should keep it clean, and we should not use the senses for any bad activities. That's what it is told. When a person comes to the Sattva Guna, all the senses will become Prakasham Upajayate. That is, all the senses will do only the sattvic activities. The ears are used for hearing the Lord's pastimes. Eyes are used for seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. Hands are used for serving the Lord. And whatever activities we are doing, we total it is in the service of the Lord. Then that is the actual proper utility of this body. This body is given by the Lord, and it has to be used for the service of the Lord. We cannot just neglect it. I have come to Krishna consciousness. I'm chanting 16 rounds. Now I don't have to worry about the body. I don't have to eat properly. These things happens in spirituality. People don't sleep properly. They do over service, and after that they cannot get up, or they cannot do proper service. And once the health goes down, it cannot come up very easily. Then the person has to take too much rest. That is not recommended. So taking care of the body is also service to the Lord. Sleeping properly in the night is also a service. If you sleep early in the night, so that early you can get up in the morning, and so that you don't sleep during the chanting. We cannot only take the excuse that I have to do some work tonight I have to do. Okay, I will keep on working. That is not recommended. Mantra 11. This has a long purport. So this is there are 14 paragraphs in this. Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. The first 5 paragraphs, they say that it is not possible to have the immortality materially. Nobody can become immortal materially. Example is Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, Kumbhakarna or Shishupala, Dantavakra. All these people you can take as example. Prabhupada has explained this topic by taking the example of Hiranyakashipu. Nobody can live here permanently. Everyone has to go back. Go back to Godhead or go to another planet or go to another body. Somehow the body will not allow us to live here permanently, because this body has an expiry date. We don't know what is the date of expire of this body, but it definitely has a expiry date. When we take birth, we are walking towards death every day. Yesterday, I was a little bit away from the death. Today, I have become more close to the death. And tomorrow, I'll be even more close to the death. I don't know how far is the death, but definitely death is there. So nobody can become immortal materially. We have to give up this body. That is explained in the first 5 paragraphs. And second paragraph, or the second part, it is entirely explained about immortality. It is possible only by following the teachings of Krishna. That is the next entire section. So entire purport can be divided into 2 parts. Immortality impossible and immortality possible. Materially impossible, spiritually possible. These things are explained. These are the some of the reasons why immortality is impossible by material things. The material things, the matter, either living or non-living matter. Here, the body is non-living, the soul is living. So when the body has the soul within, it is called living matter. And when the matter which doesn't have the soul, then it is non-living matter, or which doesn't show the symptoms of life. That is called non-living matter. So there are 3 things for non-living matter, that is creation, deterioration, and destruction. When we make something, just like when we buy a new mobile, it is created by someone, and it, as soon as it is created, it starts deteriorating. Then after few years, it will stop working after some time. Then it is destruction. It is recycled, or it will be thrown away, or it will become invalid. Finally, it will reach the ground. That is the 3 stages for non-living matter. But for the living matter, there are 6 changes. It is not only 3. It takes birth, and after taking birth, we don't degrade immediately. We grow. The body will change. There is no growth as like that of the balloon, because the cell divides, and when the cell divides, new cells are coming and old cells are dying. So the body is changing. And maintenance, we maintain the body for some time. And also maintenance means whenever there is a injury to the body, we will take care of it. The body itself can maintain itself. When there is an injury, the blood starts clotting, and if we have any problem, if some mosquito bites on the hand, the blood will create such a situation that no antigens can enter our immune system. The immune system becomes very alert. So all these things, the defense system is there in the body. So that maintenance is body itself is doing. And above that, we also externally give some maintenance for the body. Then reproduction, the non-living matter cannot produce. One mobile cannot produce another mobile. You have to buy a new mobile after that. But the living entity, all the living entity, it may be a tree or an insect, a bird, animals, or human being, they all produce another living entity. And then deterioration, the body gets deteriorated. Whatever we can make, it is not possible to stop the deterioration. When we become old, we'll try to do so many things. People use the plastic surgery, or in so many ways, they try to look young. but it is not possible to reduce the life, reduce the age. One day one has to die. So that is the deterioration. Finally, death will come. So Hare Krishna. Okay, there are some power issue here, so that's why. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So I was explaining about the different stages. So till today, no scientist could produce a single grain of rice in the lab. If you want to eat, you have to depend on the Mother Earth. It is not possible to produce a single grain of rice in the lab. Forget about changing the gene or making the person young again who is old. All these things are up away. We have to depend on the nature. We cannot produce a leaf. A leaf, it is so designed that just by taking the ingredients from the earth, by taking the sunlight from the sun and drinking the water, it produces so many varieties of fruits and vegetables which can feed the animals. No scientist can imitate this. This is the property of God. God has made this cow which eats only the grass, the dry grass, which we say that it is useless for us, but it gives the nectarian milk. So nobody can do this in the lab. They can produce some adulterated milk which can harm our body or which can cause cancerous result, but they cannot do anything good. The nature of nature is mortal, which cannot be changed. By nature, the nature is mortal. The change is always there. Nobody is permanent here. So immortality, materially, it is impossible. It is proved. There is no need to check. Those who would like to read, they can raise their hand. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Vidyam cha yas tadvedovyam saha. Mantra 11. Sri Ishopanishad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle for existence. This does not mean that all activities for the maintenance of the body should be stopped. There is no question of stopping activities. Hare Krishna.
Continue, Mataji.
Just as there is no question of wiping out one's temperature altogether when trying to recover from a disease. To make the best use of a bad bargain is the appropriate expression. The great sages and saints of India have attempted to do this by a balanced program of spiritual and material knowledge. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So balanced program. How this balanced program is made by the sages. So what they do here, the knowledge is divided into two parts. One is Paravidya, other one is Aparavidya. The para means spiritual, that which is away from this material world, para. Apara means this material world, something related to this material world. The apara vidya, which both are part of Vedas, apara vidya also and para vidya also. Apara vidya will help us, it will teach us how to maintain the body, and para vidya will help us to go back to Godhead. Both are parts of Vedas. As we have studied in the beginning of Ishopanishad, Veda has 4 parts: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishads. These Upanishads are directly speaking about spiritual activities. But the Aranyakas, Brahmanas, these are explaining about how a person has to live in this material world. Especially the Brahmanas and Aranyakas, the Grahasthas and Vanaprasthas, how they have to lead their life, all these moral instructions, everything is given in the Vedas. That is Aparavidya, which will explain us how to maintain the body. Both are needed, and Aparavidya should support the Paravidya. It should not become independent of that. So what is Aparavidya? The following or practice of Chaturvida Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. This is also coming under Aparavidya. That means one has to perform Dharma, that is the rituals or the righteous activities. And when we perform this, what will happen? The person becomes eligible for getting Artha or money. Money will come. Then use that Artha for fulfilling the desires, not crossing the limits of spirituality, within the limit. So here moksha is not very much elaborately discussed, as there are 5 types of moksha, all these things. It is just telling that you are eligible for getting liberated because you are fed up with this material world. Sorry for the interruption. There is some problem with the internet. What I was telling? Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji. You were talking about moksha.
Okay. Okay. So the real credit, the real money is not gold or silver. What is the real money? It is the pious credit that we have. If a person tries to get artha without doing dharma or without doing righteous activities, then he will not be able to enjoy whatever he has achieved. People, we can see, they are working day and night hard every day for 12 or 15 hours. They have no time to eat. They have no time to sleep. So what kind of enjoyment are they having? They are only working like animals. They may be having the feeling that they are getting a lot of artha, but that artha or money, it will go only in spending for their medical bills. They will not be able to enjoy it. So what is real money? That is the pious credit, what we do. This is all aparadharma I am explaining. Otherwise, the real credit is devotion to Krishna. So aparadharma also, if we are practicing, one should do pious activities. One should not do impious activities, or one should not neglect dharma while forgetting the artha. And then by achieving such kind of artha, which is not against the dharma, all his desires will be fulfilled. Even the material desires of the person gets fulfilled, which is nothing but karmakanda. Then comes the moksha. The person becomes eligible for, or he will think about the moksha. That is the slow process, which is varnashrama. And then this is called as the best use of bad bargain. We have got this material body. This is not very good, but still we can use it for a better purpose. That is the best use of bad bargain. And worst use of bad bargain means performing adharma. Already we are entangled, obsessed only with artha and kama. Spiritual degradation and material devastation is called as worst use of the bad bargain. That is the practice of adharma. So when we are performing adharma, neglecting dharma, and only interested in artha and kama, it will degrade us. So somebody may say that I have performed, or I have done so much of hard work to get this material body. No, that is not truth. We have not done anything. We have just gone through some experience, that's all. This body, material body, we get it by chance. In one sense, we are getting this human form of life is by chance. How it is? There are 84 lakh species of life, and we start with the Jalaja Navalakshani, Stavara Lakshamimshati. You just go on that. There is no punya and papa there. You only experience the whatever pleasure or pain is there, material pleasure and pain. And gradually the person will come to the human form of life. It will be given. It's a chance. It's like a junction where you can decide to go back to the animal kingdom, or you can go back to Godhead. So there is no much effort from our side or much contribution to get this human form of life. But if we are going back to the animal kingdom again, then that is like Atmaha. Earlier we have explained. Killing the soul. So the adharma will kill the soul, and using the aparadharma, if we are advancing in the spiritual life, then it is we are making the best use of bad bargain. Finally, Prabhupada explains how this paradharma this paradharma or the bhakti is glorious. So what happens here? The karma and jnana, they are two extremes of the pendulum. Karma is natural for a person to act. Everyone likes to work, or whatever desire I have. I cannot sit quiet. I want to do something, or whatever I like, I do it. That is very natural for every person, every animal, every living entity. But the problem is it is binding. Whenever I am acting something, the result of it, I get attracted to it, then I get entangled. But if you cultivate jnana, knowledge, then it is non-binding. That means the person will understand, I am not this body, I am spirit soul, this material world is temporary. This is, if I work like this, I will get entangled, so I will not work. But it is not natural for the living entity. When we develop knowledge, the vairagya, or giving up the association of all the family members, it is very unnatural. It requires a lot of effort to practice. But bhakti, what it does, it will combine both. Material senses for spiritual purpose. It is natural as well as liberating. It is combining the natural tendency of karma and the liberating nature of jnana, and coming together, it will make the things easy. It is the balanced life. And it's called bhakti, the devotional service. In devotional service, we have a lot of activities, which is akarma, which is not binding. And in devotional service, neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So trayate mahato bhayat means it's not binding. The nature of jnana is also there, the nature of karma is also there, and the negative things, that is the binding and unnatural, these things are removed, and bhakti will make it easy to perform. Anybody can perform bhakti. A small child also can perform bhakti. Old person also can do bhakti. A diseased person also can do bhakti. Anybody can perform devotional service. That is the beauty of paradharma or the bhakti. Let us hear from Srila Prabhupada. Those who would like to read can raise their hand. Madhuri Mataji. You can unmute yourself. You're not audible.
Am I audible, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Vaidyam cha vidyam cha chayas tadvedo bhayam saha. Mantra 11. How does the process of spiritual life given to us by Srila Prabhupada enables us to achieve a balanced program of spiritual and material knowledge? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. This is the activity. So we have to do now one activity. How Prabhupada has made this ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, all the activities which are there, which is combining the karma and jnana together and giving the benefit of bhakti, devotion to Krishna, which is not binding to the material world. At the same time, it is giving us pleasure of doing the activity. It is susukham kartum avyayam. We can do it, and we at the same time we get liberated. So this is the mind show. So prepare a short mind showing how the process given to us by Srila Prabhupada enables us to achieve a balanced program of spiritual and material knowledge. You can take some examples and try to explain how a person, when he is practicing spirituality, both are involved. The material activities or the knowledge, everything is involved, and at the same time it will liberate the person. Everyone understood the question? If not understood, you can raise your hand. Today's class was a little technical. If you have any questions, we'll clarify in the last. So, anybody not understood the problem? Okay, everyone understood. So, okay, how much time you need for preparation? 5 minutes is okay. 5 minutes for preparation, 2 minutes for presentation, 2 or 3 minutes for presentation. It's a mind show. So there are only 12 people today. We'll do 3 groups. Is it fine? Okay. Today Muralidhar Prabhu is not there. He will tell how many groups has to be made. Okay. Okay, we'll make 3 groups. 5 minutes for preparation and 2 minutes for presentation. Your time starts now, as there is no questions about the activity.
Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavasya Sri Rupan Saprajatam Savana Jagannathan Vikam Radhaitam Ramakutam Parijana Saritam Sadhaitam Naki Nava Sapada Savana Jagannathan Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Prabhu,
Hare Krishna, welcome back to the session. So this is a mime show. First time we are doing in this. So those who would like to raise, those who are participating, they can raise their hand. all the participants, one group. Who has performed? What happened? There should be 3 groups, no? Those who would like to present can raise their hand. Muralidhar Prabhu came.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I just got down from the train.
Yes, Prabhu.
I just got down from the train and I
Okay.
suddenly saw you're still here. Nice
Okay.
seeing you, Prabhuji. I just came to see you. That's
We just remembered you
thank you. Oh my God.
just before the breakout room.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I met my sister. That's why I went.
Okay. Hare Krishna. So nobody is ready. What happened in the breakout room?
Prabhuji, Rakshita Mataji is ready. I don't know, she has forgotten to raise her hand.
Oh, Prabhuji, we've prepared to talk. Like mime show, we've not literally
That's
prepared.
okay. You can give the dialogue. That's it. Okay. How many people together?
Prabhuji, I thought I will just speak out the points that
Yeah.
we.
Okay, that's also fine. No problem.
Okay. Okay. So the question is, how are we using our material activities for spiritual purpose, right? So first thing we could think of is reading. So without material education, we cannot read and understand these philosophies or anything as such, because we need to first get trained on reading and interpreting. So basic English is needed for that. Basic language skills is needed, which is going to be obtained only through modern education system. We need to go to school and then learn all this, and then learning that skill to read scriptures instead of reading these materialistic novels and other things, reading scriptures and then understanding those philosophies, tattvas and all that. So that is one thing. Second thing is creating websites. Every ISKCON temple, every ISKCON center needs websites, right? Which is very technical. So learning, again, this also comes from material education, learning how to code and then using that coding skills for creating temple websites and nothing else. Not other material things. And then usage of social media. Instagram, we can use Instagram, Facebook, everything for both material and spiritual purposes. So choosing to use these things to spread Krishna consciousness, awareness posts and all these. This way technology can also be used for Krishna consciousness. And then all the gadgets, right now we are using our mobile phone, laptop, everything for Krishna consciousness. So that is one thing. And then online classes, which came up, 18-day Bhagavad Gita course, everything. And then maintaining our body. Sleeping is very material. But as you explained, if we don't sleep, we cannot offer service to the Lord. Right? So this way, maintaining our body, sleeping, eating, all these material things are also spiritualized. And then, we could think of these many, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Right.
Prabhuji, we couldn't do it as a mime show.
It's okay, fine. Others, anybody can raise their hand. Deepti Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So it was me and Sarita Mataji. We were there. Prabhuji, same here. Like we did not prepare any kind of a mime show. We just discussed. So we'll be able to present only a few points.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, what we discussed was like, as it is mentioned, as you recently mentioned, it is Susukham Kartum Avyayam. So what happens is, when we were totally in the material world or the material knowledge, we now, by the blessings of Krishna and the spiritual masters, all the teachers, gurus, we are able to understand the spiritual knowledge. So with the intelligence that is given to us by Krishna, we are trying to use it, and our material knowledge, based on how Mataji has recently explained the modern education system, and we try to completely divert ourselves towards the spiritual side. So Prabhuji, this is what we are trying to do, and that is bhakti. Like, even though we have a karma which is a mishra, karma mishra bhakti or jnana mishra bhakti, we are trying to continue because we are trying to keep Krishna in the center. So we are trying to Krishnaize our activities, like we are trying to offer bhoga to the Lord. So in a way, when we are trying to have food, we are sanctifying it by offering it to the Lord. So not only that, we are also trying to serve our family with the intention that they are also part and parcel of the Lord. So what happens is there is affection, but there is not that attachment, because as you mentioned that with jnana, there is vairagya that automatically comes. So actually that vairagya is giving us the sense of responsibility, that it is our responsibility to look after our family and how we take care of our body also. As Mataji mentioned, and you mentioned that the purpose of this body is to serve Krishna. So proper sleep is also required. So, and not only that, Prabhuji, we also try to inculcate, we are trying to imbibe all the activities, we are trying to attend the morning programs. So slowly and automatically, we are trying to inculcate all the activities of the Krishna consciousness movement. Not only that, devotees, they also, the devotees, they are also trying to spread Krishna consciousness. Like we are trying to attend the programs, and not only that, there are so many classes that are going on. So using that education from the modern system, and we are trying to use it for the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. And Prabhuji, how Srila Rup Goswami has presented an exemplary example that how he has distributed his income. So there also, how we are trying to do is, even though it is a Mishrit Bhakti, people have attachment to the results, and even if it is not, even if there is no attachment to the results, but still what they are trying to do is, they are trying to distribute their income to the Vaishnavas. So Prabhuji, these are a few ways like how it can really help us when we continue thinking of Krishna continuously, automatically our consciousness will improve. So this is how I can understand. And Prabhuji, Mataji has already explained how Srila Prabhupada used a dictaphone, even though it is a material thing, but he spiritualized it. The nature was changed, so it became absolute. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you. Mataji. Anybody else would like to add any points? So this is nothing but Yukta Vairagya. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatarham Upayunyataha Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchate. We should do Yukta Vairagya, not the Falgu Vairagya. Okay. So that is about first three shloka of today. Let me tell briefly about the next three shloka and what is the relation. In the next three shloka, it is very similar to the previous what we have learned. 9, 10, 11 is talking about the knowledge, and 12, 13, 14 is talking about the worship of the Lord. It is speaking in the same tone. That is, if you see, the Sanskrit shloka is also same. Andam tama pravishyanti ye vidyayam upasate ye sambhutim upasate tato bhoya ivate tamo yavo vidyayam rataha sambhutyam rataha. So it is true for all the other shlokas also. It is very similar. Wherever vidya is there, here it is the sambhuti. Sambhuti means worship. The translation also remains the same. So these things will continue in the next class. What about the worship? Here worship also, the worship of the demigods and worship of the impersonalists and the devotees, how they are related. All these things we'll be studying in the next coming session, because in one session we cannot complete this lesson. So we'll have it in the 2 sessions. Okay, now anybody has any questions in regard to today's class, they can raise their hand and ask us.
Prabhuji, Kirtan.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is already 1 o'clock. I actually forgot. To chant the mantra also in the 18 in the beginning. And after starting the class, I remembered. Then I thought it's okay, fine, leave it. Okay. Somebody has to remind. Yeah, please, Mataji.
Deeparani Mataji will be doing the kirtan.
Yeah, please. I'll make the co-host. Yes, Mataji, you can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dhanapana.
Hare Krishna.
On this occasion of Snan Yatra, I have selected to sing Jagannath Astakam. Very happy Snan Yatra to all the devotees present here. Jagannathastakam punyam ya pathet prayata suci sarva papa visodhatma Vishnu lokam sagacchati Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me Kadachit Kalindi Tata Vipina Sangita Taravo Mudabhirinare Vadan Kamala Sadamadhupa Mudabhirinare Vadan Kamala Madhu Sadapa Rama Sambhu Brahma Marat Pati Ganesha Chitapado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me Bhuje Savivenum Sira Shishiki Picham Katitate Dukulam Netrante Saha Charakataksham cha vidhat Dukulam netrante shaha Charakataksham cha vidhat Sada Srimad Vrindavana Vasati lila parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me Mahambodhasire kana Karuchir nila sikhare Vasan prasadanta sahaj Balabhadrana balina Vasan prasadanta sahaj Balabhadrana balina Subhadra madhyastha sakar Suraseva sarado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me Kripa paravara sajal Jalada srani ruchite Rama Vani Rama Spura Damala Pankeru Mukha Rama Vani Rama Spura Damala Pankeru Mukha Surendra Radhe Shruti Ganashikha Gita Charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me रथारूढ गच्छन् पथि मिलित भूदेव पटले स्तुति प्रादुर्भावं प्रति पदमुपकर्ण सद्य स्तुति प्रादुर्भावं प्रति पदमुपकर्ण सद्य दया सिन्धुर्बन्धु सकल जगतां सिन्धु सुताया जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे परम ब्रह्म पीडकुबा लय दौलत फूल नयनो निवासी नीलाद्रो निहित चरणोनंत शिरसी निवासी नीलाद्रो निहित चरणोनंत शिरसी रसनंदी राधा सरस बपुर लिंगान सुखो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे नवेयाचे राज्यं न च कनकं मणिक्यं विभवम् नाचेऽहं रम्यां सकल जनकाम्यं वरवधूं नाचेऽहं रम्यां सकल जनकाम्यं वरवधूं सदा काले काले प्रमाद पतिना गीत चरितो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे हर त्वं संसारं द्रुत तरमसरं सुरपते हर त्वं पापानां विततिमपरं यद्वेपते हर त्वं पापानां विततिमपरं यद्वेपते अहो दीननाथे निहित चरणो निश्चितमिदं जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. I think translation will not do now because it's already late. We'll have some question answers and continue. Hare Krishna. Okay, Sureshwar Priya Mataji. Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
One small doubt I have. We were talking about Brahmavadi and Mayavadi in Mantra 9. And
Yes.
one is supposed to be impersonalist and Mayavadi is an offender.
Yeah.
But these two people are coming under Dushkritina.
No. Mayavadi is Dushkritina. It is not coming under Dushkritina, but Mayavadi is a Krishna Aparadi, or it is an offense to think that Krishna to be an ordinary person and oneself to be God. That is Aparada. But Brahmavadis, people end up with Brahmavada because of they not having association of devotees. When we try to understand the spiritual subject matter, when he do it himself, or if he is gone to a person who is having only the knowledge, not the devotional aspect, then it will be he will end up with the Brahmavadi. That is not a problem, or it's not a mistake, or it's not an offense, or it is not a dushkritina. He will, as soon as a person gets the association of devotees, he will come to the devotional aspect. The example is 4 Kumaras. Chatush Kumara, they were like their impersonal aspects were there. It is actually they are great devotees. It is just a leela of those devotees to give us the instruction. When they saw the beautiful form of the Lord in the Vaikuntha, they became devotees.
Even Shukadev Goswami also, yes. Initially he was impersonalist. So impersonalist is okay type. He will definitely come to Krishna consciousness. But Mayavadi will not come.
No, they will be, it's an offense. They go away from Krishna.
They can be placed under Dushkritina, isn't it? Mayavadi.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture today.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you for the session, Prabhuji. Done with Pranam.
We'll stop. I thank all the devotees for coming to the session and